it transmits on CB, but in FM only. What would be the benefit of having this? That's the question. That's the magic question.
Amateur radio and GMRS too.
Hey guys, this is Joe Tech from Amateur Radio and GMRS. And we have the Radtel RT-950 Pro. Why does it suck? Oh my God, where do I begin? If you download the Bluetooth software and you attempt to program the radio, when you select an analog PL, it automatically sets the radio to DCS, regardless if you set it for analog. It programs the radio wrong. I have video proof of this. This is absolutely, utterly bad. So if you're a newbie and you're a tinkerer and you're programming this radio via the Bluetooth software that came with, that's equipped with this, it breaks it, and it's going to make you so frustrated because you know you did it right. But from the Bluetooth to this, it is absolutely broken. Absolutely broken. This is bad. This will make any newbie extremely frustrated and want to throw the radio out the window because they're not knowing that the Bluetooth software is broken. So they're putting in the correct PL tones, but it's setting it to be digital tones, and it's not. What is going on? This is so bad. This is really, really bad. Radtel, you're going to create a lot of frustrated people. Oh my God, it just goes on and on and on. Stay clear of the 950 Pro. I'm not even sure if it's this bug is in the RT-950. But holy crap, or even the RT-920. Who knows? Maybe no one's even tried. Maybe they're only using this as a scanner and not as a two-way UHF VHF radio. That's bad. If I'm trying to program it and it's, oh my God. Oh my God. It never ends with this radio. Oh, made in China. They need a little more work to do on the transmission on Bluetooth from a phone to radio. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to turn this on to Scramble 8. And we're going to go to 433. We're just listening.
4, 3, 3, 6, 0, 0.
You know, let me crank this up. I'm going to walk away so it doesn't give you any feedback, so you can hear what it sounds like. Wow. I don't know what to say. Holy crap. Well, there's a feature that you might want. Sheesh. I don't know what else to say. That's 100% illegal. You're not allowed to encrypt or scramble anything on any of the licensed ham bands or licensed GMRS bands. You need to be able to understand that. So I'm not really quite sure. Maybe this is for business purposes and you want to scramble your audio. But that is insanely awesome, but completely illegal. Maybe on the business band you could do whatever you like, but holy macaroni. If you have a similar radio and they're communicating, you can't understand them, then you can simply turn on Scramble and you'll be able to decipher on the other end what it is. So you might want to have one of these just in case someone else has this radio and you want to hear what they have to say. After I programmed it via Bluetooth and made manual changes to the program within the radio, I had to manually make some changes, I was able to make contact to my repeater. I'm not sure where the disconnect is here. However, I do have sample audio of that transmission. And we're going to play it now.
WQSY 810 for radio check. WQSL 706, coming in loud and clear over here. How does this radio sound? Audio is really good. Sounds loud. You get a full signal over here, and it sounds really good. No issues here. All right, thank you. Yeah, the receive on this is terrible, but thank you. Nah, coming across, the audio is coming across really good over here. But all right, very good. WQSL 706, we're on the side. All right, thank you very much.
While I was trying to listen, I couldn't hear. So the radio was pretty deaf. I wasn't receiving the signal to the radio. I had to turn up my base radio to listen to the audio. I could not hear it where I was standing. Unlike the UV5R Mini, I was able to hear that perfectly fine in the basement. This particular radio did not perform as expected. All you see is positive videos about this. This is a waste of money for someone who thinks they're going to transmit on CB because it's FM only. Good luck with that. With the right antenna, you can transmit on unlicensed bands from 902 to 928 megahertz. It's here. I got it. I have it on loan. One of my admins let me borrow it. It's just another radio. Anything fancy about it? I mean, it is a Pro. Is this better than an F8 HP Pro? Is this better than a DM32 UV? Is this better than any other radio that's out there? What would be the benefit of having this? That's the question. That's the magic question. This is 100% analog. There is no digital on this whatsoever. However, you do have 3 VFOs. And we will be testing the power requirements of this, or the power output of this. This does have 3 push-to-talk buttons on it, and every single button on this thing is programmable, including the keypad buttons, 0 through 9. Essentially. Plus the bottom SK button on the bottom here. You can have it do whatever you want as well. They're all programmable. How many radios does one need? You know, like holy crap. So what's interesting about this test here is that we have it on the frequencies that we're going to test the power on. It's 136, 144, 148 for VHF. And I don't have to change the frequency on here because I already preset them, and it's just hitting a different push-to-talk button for the test. It's kind of neat. But I'm glad I have it for review. And the other thing that this does have, which I find it to be 100% pointless, it just is just my opinion, okay? I see no need, absolutely zero need for CB. And you're not getting anybody unless they're a couple of blocks away. And why would you even do that? So it's 100% gimmick. 100%. 100% gimmick. So let's go over let's do the unboxing. You get the radio. You get the tri-band. Wow. Without the antenna on it, goes nuts. You need the antenna on it. Isn't that funny? So you get that antenna, which, let me just see something. Reload the volume, or shut it off. 136 to 174 and 400 to 470. Wow. So it's not the typical bandwidth to 520. It's to 470. So this technically will transmit on GMRS.
Welcome. Frequency mode.
That's one of the nice things about this radio. The voice prompts are insanely clear and understandable. I'd like to know who they use for that. It could be all AI created for all we know. Alright, so let's go over the unboxing of this. Belt clip, USB cable, charger, 1 amp charger, and USB docking station for the radio. That's it. And the 2 antennas. VHF, UHF, and CB. And that's it. Let's go check out the power. We're going to check out 136 and we get 6.56 watts. On 144, we get 6.54 watts. And on 148, we get 8. Wow. Okay, so we have some proof here. It keeps on going up the higher the frequency goes. So let's check it out. And the first one at 433 is 8.7. It's dropping 8.55 watts. That's at 433 flat. Let's do 445. It's 8.55. And then at 950, it's 8.55. So this is claiming to be a 10 watt radio. It's not. It's an 8.5 watt radio. So it's not putting out what it's claiming it's supposed to be putting out. So, I mean, which is fine, because you know what? Every radio is completely different. Every one of these radios, they do what they're supposed to do. They transmit. This happens either Radtel. I mean, it has APRS. The menu system is absolutely beautiful. Every single one of these has problems in the sunlight. They just can't not work in the sunlight. They just don't. Having the CB capability, I think is absolutely pointless, because what most people that are on CB these days are on lower sideband on 38 and talking to Skip. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of. I think this is absolutely pointless in a CB, and you have to physically go into a different working frequency. You just can't turn to it and get it. You have to do. You have to go into radio set, and then go into work band number 1, and then change it from 64 to 999 to 18 to 64. So it goes all the way down to 18 megahertz, which, again, let's just see if this actually can transmit on that. Now I'm curious. Let me change the antenna. I mean, 18 megahertz, that's like, wow, you can transmit at 18 megahertz. 18 to 64. You could transmit on 30 megahertz. Let me see if we can go to 54. Okay. This also transmits on 6 meters. This is such a difficult video to do, because I don't want to piss people off because of my opinion of the Radtel RT-950 Pro. I'm not a big fan of it. Too much packed in a little box. Too much. No need. Absolutely no need. Some will argue that it's a great newbie radio. Great for newbies getting into the hobby. I don't understand how this can be a newbie radio. It is very, very complicated to use. And newbies are usually not tinkerers. They don't like to tinker with things, with radios. They want things to turn on, work as a newbie, to get on the radio to communicate. I don't want to be tinkering with the radio that is so complicated to use, to understand, and you're buying it, you're thinking, I'm just going to do the cons on this thing. Very few pros, majority of is all cons. This antenna that you get is not for HF. It's only for CB. So don't think that you could extend this antenna and get HF and get 40 meters on it. This is too small. I don't understand it. If people get, oh, I can listen to 40 meters. You need to get a 30 to a 50-foot antenna for good receive on 40 meters. Come on. I mean, you need to, you need to connect it to an antenna. This little thing is not going to do shit. Okay? And it says right on it, 27 megahertz. This is for 11 meters only. Only. And to add insult to injury, it transmits on CB, but in FM only. Total a waste of freaking time. Why would you put an FM transceiver on CB frequencies? All of the radios out there, older radios that are all out there, all the guys that have the Strikers and the Presidents and all, they don't do FM. They're not going to be transmitting FM on CB. That's not where the communication lies. Channel 38, lower sideband, bang! Pump out all the power you can and make contacts. No one's on FM on CB. The capability's there, but no one's really doing it. It's a waste. Absolute waste of freaking time. My opinion. I know guys that have been doing CB for decades. They will never transmit on FM. Even though it's cleaner, there's no static and whatnot. But the use of it and the purpose of it is really, the support is lacking. And to have this, have CB on FM, is silly. It really is. And the amount of, the capability of receiving anything on FM on CB side to have it in HT is, you're never going to get any contacts unless your buddy has a 920, actually not even a 920, has a 950 Pro, has to be a Pro, because that's the only one that actually has the CB capability in this. I'm sorry, I'm beating this thing to death. I don't see the purpose. I don't see the purpose. The other plus, I'm going to say a plus, it does have a waterfall. It's actually kind of cool. The waterfall function is really neat. So you can have a spread of frequencies, and then you can see where the activity is. It's a little slow. Takes time to refresh, but the feature is there. But it's just a UHF VHF radio. That's all it should be used as. It can transmit on 18 megahertz all the way up to 64 and 6 meter, but remember, you're going to need the correct antenna. The two antennas that come with this is a UHF VHF, and this is CB only, will not satisfy 18 megahertz to 64 megahertz. So these are useless for receive and transmit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can't use these two antennas for that function of the radio. It just doesn't come. It just doesn't come with the correct stuff. It says right on it, 27 megahertz. That's all this is for. And I know, I get it. It's only for receive, but you still need the proper length to receive. You know what I mean? You do. You just can't hook up a wire and you'll be good to go. Will you receive some stuff? Yes, but not the whole band, because the wavelength is tremendous. It is huge. When we say 40 meters at 7 megahertz, 40 meters is the length of the wave. It's describing you the length. It's a 40 meter length. A 5-foot antenna is not going to accept a 40 meter wave length. It's just not going to work. I don't care what it's just not going to work, my friends. It's just not going to work. I mean, I know I'm going to get so much flack from this, but this is not a newbie radio. It just isn't. It's too complicated. This is for someone who wants to futz around with shortwave, because it does do shortwave, but you still need the right antenna for shortwave. These are not going to work. Just buy a shortwave radio and use that for that, and use this for transmitting only. There's no reason to have it. That means you just crippled your capability of listening to somebody who you could actually talk to versus listening to shortwave. It's just, I don't get it. I don't understand the purpose of this radio. All you see is positive videos about this. This is a waste of money for someone who thinks they're going to transmit on CB because it's FM only. Good luck with that. HF bands, you need the right antenna. Even for, like I told you, it's just, I can just beat this to death. There's so many other radios out there that all you want, the whole purpose of communication is for communication, not for listening. Buy a scanner for that. Buy a shortwave radio for that. A dedicated, specific piece of hardware that is designed for that purpose. This is not designed for that purpose. This is a transceiver. Completely different. And you need to have matched antennas for this to work properly. I know I'm going to get a ton of flack on this. Like, oh, you're wrong, you're wrong. Remember, it's my opinion. I will never buy this radio, ever. I have no need for an FM transceiver on CB frequencies on 11 meters. I have no need for that, especially in a low power radio such as this. I'm not going to hear a goddamn thing with it, ever. It's a waste. They packed so much into this little radio, and not a single thing takes precedence over the other. There's nothing in here that works fantastic, better than any other radio out there. Capabilities and features are one thing, but they gotta have a purpose. They have to have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, then why put it in the freaking radio? Like, if I bought this, big if, most likely someone would probably give it to me versus me buying it, because all the radios that I have here have been given to me. This was given to me for the review. I had to return it, but after reviewing it, I will never buy it because it doesn't have the features that I'm looking for. Will you be actually using this to scan HF bands and tinkering with it? Are you kidding me? This is death. The majority, these radios are not designed for listening for frequencies far, far, far away. Remember, it's an HT. It's not a mobile base unit. Which is designed to hook up to an external antenna. This has an SMA. You have to get a converter. You have to do all these funky things to get to a SO239, so you can hook up a PL259 to it, and then finally have it. Why would you go through all that total crap on an HT when this is a portable device, not a fixed permanent device? The thought process behind some people are just a little crazy. I don't understand it. I would never get all these, and then you could possibly break the thing off. Come on. Then you have to put on this monstrosity of a 30-foot antenna on your roof so you could at least hear 40 meters. Remember, it's got to be a 40-meter capable antenna, and that's 7 megahertz. It goes up to 6 meters. This can go up to 6 meters. Well, when I should say down to 6 meters. It's up, it's up to 6 meters in terms of frequency, but down to 6 meters going down in terms of size of wave. 40-meter wavelength is tremendous. 6-meter wavelength is smaller. So the higher the frequency you go, the lower the wavelength you get. Okay? So remember, when you're talking meters, you're talking about the physical wavelength of the wavelength of when you hit the transmitter. That's the wavelength that's expelling out of your radio. If you're transmitting on 6 meter, you have a 6 meter RF radio wave. I'm sorry. I can't recommend this radio if it really truly sucks. I can't. I just can't. But it does have UHF and VHF and a cool waterfall, which is some of the pluses on this, but then I wouldn't get the Pro. Get the RT-950, and that's plenty radio for you. You do not need the Pro. The Pro adds extra stuff that is absolutely unnecessary, and you don't need it. So the RT-950 I will recommend. The RT-950 Pro I will not. I hope this rant and you need to understand my perspective, okay? Just because I get something for free doesn't mean it's gonna get a good review. You can't expect people to give you something and say, give me a good review because I gave it to you for free. You can't do that. That's so unethical and not right. How will the viewer, you, have trust in me if I lie to you about a radio? So all these people that are talking positive about this, most likely got it for free. Or they bought it because they have a use for features that are actually useless to them. But they're making it seem positive to push the radio. It's a fake, false narrative. I will always be real with you. I will never lie to you, the subscriber. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Take care, and we'll see you next time.